Greetings and welcome to the Chairman of the Board, Joseph Garrity, and other members of the Board of Trustees, to members of the Edmondite community, to honored guests on the platform, including our honorary degree recipients and our commencement speaker, and former Chairman of the Board, James Wall, and to President Emeritus Paul Rice, to faculty and staff, to families and friends, and most especially to this graduating class. Each of you honor us by your presence, but none more than those who graduate today. We gather to celebrate your achievement and your promise, and as is common in many traditions, we acknowledge this in the presence of elders, teachers, family, and friends. This day is bittersweet, full of many conflicting emotions of joy and celebrations of accomplishments, all overlain with the sadness of leaving. I would be remiss if I did not thank the faculty and staff of this college for helping you graduates to come as far as you have. And I certainly want to thank your family and your parents in particular who started you on this path and are with you still, but were good enough to permit us to have you for a few years to contribute to what they so ably began. For each of you graduates, we hope that your time at St. Michael's has changed you on several levels. A liberal education proposes to change you in three principal ways. First, at a liberal arts college, you learn that there are different lenses through which to view the world. These various lenses, be it poetry or a piece of visual art or a scientific experiment or a musical work or an economic theory or a set of equations or a spiritual insight, each brings you to a new and deeper understanding of this complex world and your place in it. So the first purpose of a liberal education is understanding, and specifically, understanding from several different perspectives. The second purpose is to develop virtue as understood in the more classical sense, that is, habits of mind and behavior. In this sense, a liberal education is intended to train your mind and your sensibilities, and to encourage an appreciation of beauty, so that you act instinctively to promote good in yourselves and others, and to examine a proposition from different angles and follow the logical thread of a proposal through to its many consequences, both intended and unintended. While here, you have learned how to listen carefully, how to be tolerant of the views of others and not come to judgment too quickly, how hard work and patience often bring new insight, and how civil discourse is fundamental to true understanding. These are all habits of mind and temperament, but we hope you appreciate that they ought to be wrapped in an aura of kindness, which allows both you and others to be heard more clearly. These habits are not part of any specific syllabi and are really the result of 4 or more years of subtle practice. However, for your understanding and habits to ultimately be effective, they must affect judgment. Thus, the third purpose of a liberal education is to give you the ability to make choices, including moral choices. This is not to say we will always agree on which choices are to be made, but rather that the decisions we make are informed by the various liberal arts, and particularly at a college which values the long and deep Catholic intellectual tradition, are influenced by the beliefs that a religious dimension can bring. Of course, this work of helping you choose wisely is unfinished, for it is the endeavor of a lifetime, but we hope that it has begun well here in Winooski Park. So the purposes of this education at St. Michael's College have been to provide each of you with the breadth of understanding that comes from immersion in the liberal arts, to develop habits that will let you bring both your intellect and your moral and religious sensibilities to bear, and to direct all towards expanding your ability to make judgments. With these abilities come certain large responsibilities. Eventually, at some point in your life, you will be called to account for how well you have used the time and space and friends and resources that have been given to you. All of us here today have received much, but we have a responsibility to use these gifts well. Keeping this in mind early in one's life makes accounting for one's life eventually much easier. As you leave us, I wish you much joy, a great sense of obligation to yourself and to others, and I hope that you change the world and each other for the better. We are very proud of you. One more thing. May you wake each day with a sense of amazement for this world and for who you are becoming. In the words of that old song, may you stay forever young. Please return to this college on a plain below a mountain next to a lake as often as you can. You will always be welcome here. Congratulations.